Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight for this special edition of 23 ABC News at 5. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight's top stories. A local faith leader has been accused of misconduct more than a decade ago, prompting church officials to place him on leave. Hear how the community is responding. And the Kern County Sheriff's Office is looking at an upgrade for their deputies. We'll tell you what they're looking to buy and how much it could cost. And dozens of local high school seniors are gearing up for an all-star face-off. We give you a sneak peek at the preps for the annual All-Star Bowl.
And we've been tracking isolated thunderstorms in the mountains this afternoon. I'll let you know just how long those will be sticking around when this special edition of 23 ABC News at 5 starts in 30 seconds.
Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 5 starts now.
Good evening. Allegations tonight surrounding a local faith leader, Monsignor Craig Harrison of St. Francis Church, who is now on paid leave following accusations of sexual misconduct. We have team coverage of the accusation tonight, but first we're going to start with 23 ABC's Tori Cooper, who's been following this story and joins us in studio now with what we know so far. Tori?
Jessica, early this morning, the Fresno Diocese confirmed with 23 ABC News that Monsignor Craig Harrison was placed on administrative leave pending an investigation surrounding sexual misconduct allegations made by a man who says he was a minor at the time of the alleged abuse. So tonight we are breaking down what we know so far in regards to the investigation and what the man has to say.
According to officials from the Diocese of Fresno, almost 2 weeks ago, on Friday, April 12th, a man told church officials that Monsignor Craig Harrison allegedly sexually abused him when he was a minor. 3 days later, on Monday, April 15th, the Diocese of Fresno reported the claim to the Firebog Police Department located in West Fresno. St. Francis Church in Bakersfield said they learned about the allegations yesterday. Monsignor Craig was placed on paid leave after the church was notified by the bishop. Monsignor Craig is from Bakersfield and has been a priest for more than 30 years. He's been at St. Francis for about 20 years, according to church officials. Before that, he was an administrator at the church in Mojave in 1991. Then went to St. Joseph Church in Firebog as a priest in 1992 and was there until the early 2000s. According to Firebog Police, the alleged incident happened around 2003 involving a boy who says he was inappropriately touched by Monsignor Craig when he was between the ages of 14 and 16. It's unclear what year he moved to St. Francis here in Bakersfield. Today, many parishioners were stunned by the news.
Just, can't believe it. I know it's not true. If you know Monsignor, he's not that type of a person. He would never, ever do anything like that.
Firebog Police Department and the Diocese of Fresno are both conducting their own investigations into the claims. Church officials say the Diocese of Fresno will be making an announcement to all parishioners and parents of students at the school and at all masses on Saturday and Sunday. A decision has not been made in regards to who will fill in during Monsignor Craig's absence.
Now, Monsignor Craig also took to social media earlier today, sharing this message with the community. He said, "Dear friends, I just learned that I am on temporary administrative leave of my duties at St. Francis Parish, pending an investigation into allegations brought against me. I am heartbroken that I will not be able to fulfill the mission that God has given me. My entire priesthood has been devoted to service to God and his people. I have been honored to serve the people of the Central Valley for the past 31 years. I am also saddened that in today's climate of fear, I have not been given any information to allow me to defend my honor in service to Christ. I do not know the motives of my accusers, any names, or the contents of any of the allegations against me. I will vigorously defend my honor from these allegations and look forward to my good name being cleared. Please keep me in your prayers during this time. Yours in Christ, Monsignor Craig Harrison." But for now, this is a developing story, and we will continue to bring you updates as soon as we get them in our newsroom. Live in studio, I'm Tori Cooper, connecting you.
Tori, thanks. Many in the community coming to the Monsignor's defense. 23 ABC's Josh Sanders spoke with a local pastor who says even though he takes the allegations seriously, he says Father Craig's ministry in the community speaks against them. Josh?
Yeah, the community in shock regarding these allegations, several coming to the defense of Monsignor Craig Harrison, a native to Bakersfield. I spoke with a friend who has worked for decades in the ministry with the Monsignor, who says knowing who he is doesn't fit with the allegations against him.
He's a good man, and it's just hard to accept that an accusation like this would be made.
Monsignor Perry Kavuchian woke up Thursday morning to the news of allegations of sexual misconduct with a minor made against his friend for almost 4 decades.
Monsignor Craig and I, we've known each other over 35 years. We entered the seminary together, and I've worked alongside him throughout those years.
A Bakersfield native, Monsignor Craig Harrison has been a staple in the community since coming to pastor his local parish, St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church, in 2008. He also currently serves as chaplain for both the Kern County Sheriff's Department and Bakersfield Police.
He's a graduate of Bakersfield High School. He's not only a person who gives of himself to the Catholic community as a priest, but he has an impact on the larger community as well.
This is video from last month when Monsignor Craig interviewed Mark Wahlberg at the 2019 Hoffman Hoffus Voices of Inspiration dinner. And back in 2015, dancing at the Star fundraiser for the Stars Theater. The Monsignor even has a star on the sidewalk outside the Fox Theater in downtown Bakersfield.
If there was any truth to any allegation that he may have harmed a minor, you get to know people when you work with them in this capacity. And everything about his character, all of his actions over the years in ministry have been just the opposite of something that would lead us to believe that he could do such a thing.
Perry says Monsignor Craig's entire ministry has been about helping young people, even adopting children who have grandchildren.
He has advocated for young people. He's protected young people who have come out of abusive homes.
Perry says he understands the failed history of the church regarding sexual abuse. He says even though he believes in his friend's innocence, he trusts in the end the truth will come out.
And I've always been a believer that they need, when the time is right, they need to speak up and be honest. And so to whoever it is who has made these allegations against Monsignor Craig, I would ask them to be honest, to speak the truth, and let the truth be known.
As Tori said, this is a developing story. We'll continue to follow this story on our social media platforms and website at turn23.com. For now, in studio, Josh Sanders, 23 ABC News, connecting you.
All right, Josh, thanks. We want to turn now to 23 ABC's Alyssa Flores. She's joining us live from Fireball tonight, where she heard reaction from locals and where she spoke to the chief of police there about the ongoing investigation. Alyssa?
Yeah, Jessica, like we've mentioned, Monsignor Craig was a priest here at St. Joseph's in Fireball for years before heading down to Bakersfield. Now, the chief of police here in Fireball says it'll still be several weeks before they reach a conclusion into their investigation of the allegation of sexual misconduct. The Fireball community in shock Thursday as they learned about allegations of sexual misconduct being brought on Monsignor Craig. Fireball Police Chief Sal Raygoza says Monsignor Craig worked at St. Joseph's Catholic Church in the 90s and early 2000s, and it'll take weeks to interview anyone who knows anything in relation to the claim made by a man, then teenage boy, in the early 2000s. The department asking anyone else with information to come forward.
We're looking into the possibility of there being other victims.
Bakersfield Police say they're not currently investigating sexual misconduct by Monsignor Craig, but Chief Raygoza says they'll be reaching out to other law enforcement agencies in places where Monsignor Craig had ties as part of the investigation.
We are contacting other cities where he worked at to see if there were any allegations or any reports taken by those agencies related to sexual misconduct.
In the meantime, we spoke to several people who say as parishioners at St. Joseph's, they were surprised to learn about the allegation and said Monsignor Craig, known to them as Father Craig at the time, was a beloved figure of the Fireball community.
Financially, spiritually, anything, he was always there for everybody. I mean, he was there for me sometimes, when I needed help back in the day, before I got married. And he ended up marrying us, which was a beautiful wedding. And just to hear everything that's going on now is just, I can't believe it.
Johnny Garcia says the influence Monsignor Craig had is why he even chose to live on a street named in his honor, Father Craig Street.
He did so much for these young kids, the community. I mean, he was into everything. The kids came to him.
As the investigation into the allegation continues, Garcia says he's waiting to learn the truth.
We pray that's not true, you know, and I mean, with the world nowadays, everything that's going on, I mean, it's just to happen here in our backyard, it's, you know, it's just unbelievable, you know, and we hope we get down to the true story and, you know, hopefully everything's going to be okay.
Now, we have clarified with law enforcement that they cannot disclose to us or the public whether or not they investigated someone if charges were not filed. In the meantime, Chief Raygoza, he says that they're going to bring their findings to the Fresno District Attorney's Office, and they'll be the ones to decide whether or not charges are filed. In Fireball, Alyssa Flores, 23 ABC, connecting you.
All right, Alyssa, thanks. And as more information on Monsignor Craig Harrison unfolds, we're reaching out to the community to hear their response. 23 ABC's Leslie Gooden spoke with some who attend St. Francis Church. She joins us with what they're saying tonight. Leslie?
Yes, Jessica, I'm here right now at St. Francis where they're hosting their 17th annual barbecue. And today I talked to members of the parish who tell me they're in full support of Monsignor Craig.
Allegations are very shocking. They hit me down to the core.
Lupe and Ray Ramirez have been attending St. Francis Church in Bakersfield for the past 8 years and were surprised by the allegations against Monsignor Craig Harrison.
He helped me to find my calling in the church, my ministry.
Superior Court officials say the jury service's phone lines are down. Officials posting on social media this morning, a notice on Twitter as well, saying the phone lines are down and people with jury duty will need to go online to check on reporting information. The court says there's currently no timeline for the issue to be fixed, but they're working to get it resolved. We have a link to the jury service's information on our website, turnto23.com. A senior long snapper from Liberty High School knows what it means to represent the Patriots, but he will soon be trading in his high school uniform for something more distinguished. Tonight, following the NFL draft on a special edition of 23 ABC News at 8:30, our sports director, Kero shares a story of a local student athlete, Ryan Aguilar, who's about to graduate into a selfless role of service as he heads into the United States Military Academy to play football and serve his country. We're going to have that story and much more tonight on that special edition of 23 ABC News at 8:30. Dozens of high school seniors will face off tomorrow night at Rabobank Arena for the 18th annual U.S. Army Senior Bowl. Tonight, teams are practicing to make sure they perform at their peak, and 23 ABC sports director Carrie Osep joins us tonight live from downtown Bakersfield with a sneak peek inside the game. Carrie?
Hey, Jess. Yeah, I think I scared some of the players off. They were just practicing really hard, and now they're taking a water break. But I can just tell you it's going to be such a special time for all the players involved in this game, as it's going to be, for many of these players, their last football game, but for all the players, their last high school football game. So they're making sure to soak up all these moments. And again, this game is going to be happening on Friday, giving these boys a chance to lay it all out here on the field in front of friends and family. And the 18th annual U.S. Army All-Star Bowl features 52 of the best football players from around Kern County, as these seniors get the unique experience to play in the only arena all-star game in the nations. Players have had a couple days to adjust to the turf in a smaller field, but this is a game that many of these guys, as I said earlier, have been looking forward to playing since they started their football careers, and now they'll get to end their high school careers together in front of friends and family. So we're expecting a big crowd from here, and the guys have just been having fun all week. I've been at some of their practices outside of Rabobank Arena, but it's been cool to see them practicing in here as well. But along with the football players, there are many more people involved, and we also have senior cheerleaders representing, and I'm going to be joined now by one of the cheerleaders from Cesar Chavez. This is Ashley Tenorio. She's going to join us and give us a perspective for the cheerleaders. What has this experience been like for you guys?
It has honestly been such an amazing experience and opportunity. I wish I could do it all over again. From the first tryout practice to the last practice right now, honestly, it's made me such a better person with socializing and also a better dancer.
We love to hear that too, because we've been highlighting the boys and the football players, but you guys have been working just as hard, practicing and getting ready for the big game. So you also, though, you play on the Cesar Chavez softball team, so you're a bit of a dual threat, maybe a triple threat, maybe I'll find out a little bit later. But for you, Ashley, what's been the most important thing about this whole experience, as it being your senior year, and you know this is going to be the last time that you ladies get out here for a football game?
I think the most important thing for me is I just have to go out there and perform like it's my last time. I've always said that, but this time it really is my last time. So I know I just need to go out there, put on a performance, put on that smile, and perform, most importantly, for my mom and dad.
All right, Ashley. Well, I know that one team that you've been kind of in awe of has been the San Francisco 49ers, and I heard that it's a dream that you would love to one day cheer for them. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, so the people with the U.S. Army All-Star Bowl, they wanted to do something special for you, so they reached out to the 49ers. And guess what? The cheer team wanted to give you something special, so they signed from all the ladies up there. They brought you this, and they signed to give you a little bit of motivation. And so if you want to show the